Integrating in Google Sheets at n8n workflow is pretty common. In fact, when taking a look at jobs on freelance websites like Upwork, I often see requests that have Google Sheets as part of a build a customer once. And you can think of use cases quite easily, right? Someone extracts data from a PDF document, you can load it up into Google Sheets. Or if you're web scraping, right, you can send the data into Google Sheets. And those are two examples. There's so many out there. But this video is going to be covering the very basics of this, right? We're going to be covering how you can grab data from Google Sheets and integrate it into n8n. We'll talk about how you could update Google Sheets, how you could delete rows. Additionally, I'll be covering how you could filter data with both and or conditions. So covering the basics in this video. Other videos on the channel will integrate Sheets into workflows. We'll cover some other more advanced options a little bit later on in the series, but the basics are super important. So if you're new to Sheets, this video is for you. Make sure you have n8n loaded and let's go through it. All right, guys, so I have n8n loaded up over here. Before we do that, though, I wanted to show you really quick the spreadsheet I'm going to be working with in this video. Now, what I recommend is you use whatever spreadsheet you want. Don't exactly copy this one-to-one. If you want to, go for it. But honestly, this is just meh on the data side of things. Like, use something that you're passionate about. I just have card player, grade, and price for some baseball cards. The only one that has like a real number is the 52 Mantle. The other ones are fictitious. Like the George Brett Mini is probably over $250,000. The 54 Aaron probably over 2.5 million. I don't know. I didn't look up the prices before I made this video, so I'm just going to use it for some sample data. All right, let's jump into n8n. We're going to start off with the manual trigger. Now there are triggers for Google Sheets, but I may cover that in a more advanced video for Google Sheets. This is just going to be the bare bones basics to get you started, right? So what we're going to do is click this plus icon over here, and I'm going to go over here to Sheets. Now, I've already set up my API connection to Google Sheets, right? The Google Sheets API, the Google Cloud. I'll also cover that in a separate video. There are videos on YouTube already covering that, but I'll have another one on the channel in the future for it. This just talks about some actions you can take within Google Sheets. So what we're going to do first is just grab data, and after that we'll filter it. So what we're going to do is choose over here, get row in sheet. All right, so you're going to get this screen over here, and what we're going to do is go down below, and it says document. You can choose from list by URL or ID. ID is probably one of the easiest ones because you can just go into your Google spreadsheet and grab the ID. Now, the ID is going to be after /d/. Grab this ID, and it ends with / here at the very end. So I'll put that. And then sheet, right? So it says grab your sheet. Now, this is simplistic. It only has one tab. Sometimes you'll have spreadsheets with 10, 20 tabs. So by default, it's going to be sheet 1, but you can specify what sheet you want to grab. Again, sheet 1 should be fine. All right, so we're going to execute the step, and you'll see that all the data has populated. Now, if you have used Python pandas for data manipulation, you'll notice that the row numbers are kind of funky on here. We start with 2 on here. When pandas, like we usually start with 0 for the first row. And essentially what's happening on n8n, it's considering this header as row 1 and then this over here as 2. It's odd to me because I code in Python so often, but regardless, that is what is going on. Now I have this in the table view. There's a few views you can take a look at this in. Like JSON isn't terrible. Schema, I don't really like how schema works on here. I'd just keep it at a table, but JSON isn't bad either. At least if you don't have a lot of records, right? If you do have a lot of records, just stick with table. Also, you can pin in your data over here on this side of things if you would like. But I'm going to show you guys some filters in a second. So what we're going to do is I'll show you how you can filter directly in here. I don't recommend that. We can actually add in a filter after, but let's just add in a filter in here just for the sake of the video. You can specify the column that you want, right? So let's say we want to specify only cards that are graded a 10. So grade, and you can put in your value over here of 10, right? So you've added in this filter. And if I go here to execute steps, right? Take a second, and you can see it filtered out that Mickey Mantle that was a 9. Now, again, I don't recommend that you add your filters in over here. I'm just going to execute this again, but that is a possibility. All right, so now let's go over how I'd actually add in a filter. So go over here and type in filter. And you'll see this on this side of things. Now, this isn't as easy as our last step, but all you have to do is essentially drag and drop. So let's replicate what we did last time, where we just filtered out the 9. We want to look at grades that are 10. So drag in the grade over here. Now, this is an important thing. By default, it's looking at strings. So since we're using a number, make sure you go over here. We're going to say number, and we're going to make this equal to 10. So equal to, and then specify 10. We can execute the step. And now you see essentially Mickey Mantle is gone. And then we have George Brett and Hank Aaron. Now, here's the cool thing too. We can add in multiple conditions. So there's 2 different logics that we could use. We could use and or an or. So I'll show you what happens with and. So let's say we want to now have a price over $1 million. So what we're going to do is drag in price, and we're going to change this again. So we're going to say over here is greater than, and just put in 1 million. 1, right? I execute the step, and means all the conditions have to be true. And you can see that for this Hank Aaron card, right, the grade is 10 and it's worth over $1 million. So that's why we have that. If we do an or condition, right, either one of these conditions has to be true for the data to populate. And you can see all this data populates over here, right? So that's and or. Again, you can add in multiple data or multiple filters as you would like. Additionally, what I'm going to do on this side of things is just remove this on here. And what we'll do is take a look at a string version of this. So what we're going to do is take a look at player, and we're going to have to change this to string. And what we're going to do is go over here, and we're going to say is equal to, and then just put in Mickey Mantle. So Mickey Mantle, right? And now this will just show the Mickey Mantle card, and there you go. So that is how, like on a very basic level, that you can start working with filters. Again, it's pretty powerful on the side of things. Imagine you have a much larger data set that you want to start with, but you don't need everything, right? You could automatically start filtering in the data before you start working with it. So there is that. Now what I'm going to do is just unplug all of this. Okay, so now let's take a look at our next use case, which is going to be adding in a row. So again, we're just going to go to Google Sheets. So Google Sheets. And we're going to click add row. So we're going to go over here and append row in sheet, right? And again, we have our connection already set up on this side of things. We're going to append row. Document, we're going to grab by ID, just drag in that ID, or I should say paste it. And then sheet, right? From list, just choose sheet 1. Okay. And now it's going to have values to send. So like, let's imagine I want to add in another card. Let's add in a T206 Hannes Wagner. It's a famous card. So 1909 T206. We'll put Hannes Wagner. That's another like $4 million card in low grade. So we'll say like a 2 is $4 million. And we'll put it in the same format for pricing. So 400, whoops, forgot a 0. So this looks good over here. And we're just going to click execute step, right? And then what you'll see is we have now appended on this side of things. If I go into my Google Sheet, right, you can see Hannes Wagner is on here, right? So this is awesome. We're able to append. And while on the surface level, some of you guys might be like, well, this is kind of pointless. Think about the greater picture here again. So I just recently had a customer on Upwork where I have to send new real estate listings daily based off of a scraper that I built, right? So now what I can do is scrape a website and then append it to the Google Sheet that is currently being used for specific criteria, right? So you can append based around that. Okay, so now let's take a look at another example, which is going to be deletion, right? So again, I'm just going to go here to Google Sheets, and what we're going to do this time is delete. So what we're going to go on this side of things is delete rows or columns from the sheet. We're going to click on to that, right? And then again, we're just going to grab our ID. So just grab that ID on this side of things. And then our sheet is just going to be sheet 1. Covered that a lot. Okay, so now to delete, right? So we have to delete specific rows. and it says start with row number. Now this starts with 2. It says right over here, first row is 2. Again, I do not like that, but it is what it is. So we go back over here, right? This is 2. Then you can think of this as 3, 4. And let's say I want to delete George Brett. So we're going to delete row 3, and number of rows to delete is only 1 on this side of things. So we'll just execute this step, and it says success is true. And if you go back over here, you can see George Brett has now been deleted, right? So we have all that side of things. Okay, so now I'm just going to remove that, and we'll move into our next example. All right, so now let's look at update. So what we're going to do again is sheets, and we'll go over here, and we'll go on this side of things and say update row in sheets, right? And again, we're going to go on this side of things, just grab the ID. I find it the easiest. Throw that in here. And then what we're going to do is grab our sheet 1. Great. And the first thing you have to do is column to match on. So you have to match on a specific column. Personally, since I don't have like a unique identifier, I'm just going to say card. And that is something with database design. Like you want to have some sort of unique identifier. Like these are not unique, these are not unique, these are not unique, and neither are these. So ideally you would want to have like some type of card ID within your database. But regardless, we're not talking about database design today. But that is kind of a hint for you guys. So we're going to match on the 1909 T206. Again, not the best to use it like this. You would want to have a unique identifier if you're doing some updates. But over Hannes Wagner is the same, grade is the same. And there's a Hannes Wagner at auction right now. I can't remember what grade it is at and what price. I think last I saw today on social media was at like $3 million, but I don't think it ended yet, and it was a 1. But let's just assume that a 2 is now worth $6 million. It's not, but it will be probably within a few years. So you have this information. We'll click execute step, and then we'll go back into our spreadsheet. So it says node executed successfully, and it says $6 million. And we go back over here, and boom, that was changed to $6 million. All right, so I'm just going to disconnect it, and we'll take a look at some other stuff that is available over there. I'll go into sheets, right? So some other stuff that's in over here. We talked about adding in a row, right? So this is append or update. So I showed you append, I showed you update. So we're good there, right? You can clear, create, delete. I'm not really too worried about that side of things. And then you can delete the rows and columns. And as I mentioned, there's triggers, right? You can set up triggers based around new additions to your Google Sheet, right? So when a row is added or updated, you can get that information to start a workflow on this side of things instead of just doing a manual workflow. But yeah, for like the basic side of things without any advanced workflow, right? I showed you how we could read in a Google Sheet. We can put in a filter in here, but highly recommend you just set a filter afterwards. I showed you how to append to it, delete, as well as updating. And that is essentially the basics behind it. We'll be doing some other basics videos. We'll talk about some vector databases in a few other videos and things like that. And then we'll work on some more workflows. I think that's what people want to see. If you want to see other stuff, just let me know down below in the comment section. We also have our Discord group with the n8n channel right now. I'll document all this later on the channel. You guys can see everything that I learn, everything that I build over time. Build wise, maybe not for some clients because of privacy reasons, but regardless, open book. I will catch you guys in another video. We'll put the n8n playlist here right now if you want to check that out, and see you next time.